Hi, I'm Beverly Molander, and tonight I'm interviewing my very best friend, Marie Waddell Reeder. Today is July 7th, 2024, and we're about to delve into Marie's background so that if Marie is no longer here or if her great grandchildren eventually want to find out more about their great grandmother, they'll be able to go to this archive and find out what life was like when she was growing up. So, Marie, what was the name on your birth certificate and where were you born and when?
I was born in 1948 in Gainesville, Florida, as Marie Ann Waddell.
Right.
I was there with my parents, of course, while my father completed college after World War II.
So, were you named after anyone in particular?
Yes, I was named after my mother because my father told her, "You can name her anything you want. I'm going to call her Marie." So that's the story on the name.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and so did your mother.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
She
And your
agreed.
middle name?
Marie Ann.
Where's the N come from?
I don't know. I
Okay.
think that was de rigueur at that time.
Okay.
Yes.
And because I'm Beverly Ann,
There you
all
go.
of us were named Beverly
Yes, yes.
or Ann.
Yes, a lot of ands in the middle.
Okay, that's right. Very simple. All right. So now tell me about what elementary school and junior high school and high school you went to.
Okay. In 1950, we moved from Gainesville to O'Galley, Florida, where my father opened a law practice. And I attended Croton Elementary, which subsequently moved locations and became Harbor City Elementary. And I went to O'Galley Junior High and O'Galley High School, graduating in 1966.
Okay. And that's where we went to all of those schools together, except
Yes, we
we
did.
met at Harbor City Elementary.
Well, actually, Bev, we met at Croton Elementary.
I didn't go to Croton. I went to O'Galley Elementary.
Mrs. the grandson, Mrs. Wingard,
Wingard.
taught us third grade at Croton Elementary, right on Pineapple Avenue.
O'Galley Elementary.
Well, let's Google.
We call it alternate realities.
It was O'Galley Elementary.
You're exactly right, because it later became Croton.
That's right.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
it was Harbor City after we moved from O'Galley.
That's
to,
right.
Yes, that's right.
And
Good.
that was because the space program was going on in Brevard County, and people were moving into Brevard County, and they had to rapidly expand the number of elementary schools and junior highs and high schools they
There
had.
you go. So more history.
Okay, so now
Who's interviewing who?
I'll tell you more if you'd like to know.
Or even if I don't.
So now, what was life like when you were going to elementary school? Tell me about your family.
Questions on there. Um, I had a terrific family. They founded the Indiana Presbyterian Church. Um, what was the name of it? Okay.
Oh, I know what you're talking.
Eastminster
Eastminster
Presbyterian
Presbyterian
Church
Church.
in 1951. And that's the church where I subsequently got married. And so we moved into a brand new neighborhood that was being built because the population was booming. And so it was a lovely childhood. I had two brothers, Tom Waddell and Brooke Waddell. And we had a really Leave It to Beaver Cleaver. That means a very nice childhood. That was a TV show back then.
So, do you have any memories of junior high school back then?
Junior high school was a real interesting time. Began to come out of that childhood into young womanhood, and cheerleading and clubs and boys and friends were really important.
And I'm going to backstep a little bit because I want to find out more about elementary school. How did you find out about your popular self in elementary school?
I never saw myself that way because I was too involved in my music lessons and in my family and my church. So I never knew about what other people thought. I was just doing my life.
And how
And I
long
got accused of stuff.
and how long were your pigtails back then? Yeah, go tell us about that.
6.5 inches.
6.5 inches for a first grader. That's
Third,
right.
third
Grader. Okay.
At O'Galley Elementary.
So, when you got to O'Galley Junior High, what were some activities that you participated in?
Oh, I really loved chorus. Mr. Cook was actually the first gay person I ever came in contact with.
He was gay?
Yes, he was. He had very long fingernails, and he talked very prissy. But he was great. He was a happy guy, and it was a great class. And then I was on student council, sergeant at arms, I think, keep order and all like that. I'm good at that. So yeah, and then that's where I really had a good time walking to school with you because that's when we shared our real personal lives, about how we thought about boys and all of those very important things.
The new boy that you met when you were at church.
Oh, that boy.
That boy.
That boy's name was Dave. And so let me back up because in junior high, no, maybe it was even high school, you and I got together and were reading a book to help prepare us for dating and all of those things. And it was called 101 Intimate Questions Answered. And we went into your bedroom and locked the door and opened this book and read it chapter by chapter. That's how we became educated about what to do and not do when we started dating. So I guess it was high school.
And that's how we became so successful today, by by reading that book.
Yes, it really informed our future.
Okay, so let's go into a little bit of detail about Dave Reeder.
And our sex life, no.
No. Okay, we can do that if you'd like. I've never heard this. So let's hear about Dave Reeder.
Yes.
And how you came to know him.
Yes.
And start dating him.
We met in church, and we met at a youth camp weekend, and he was gorgeous. He was a surfer. He was everything a young girl just starting to date would want to see at her door. Mm-hmm. And there he was. So yes, that romance began in 1963 when I was 14 years old. And miraculously, my father let me date him as long as I was with one of my brothers.
Oh, that's how
yes.
Dating began for you.
That's right. And little did my father know that there was no security in that. We would go to the drive-in together, and my brothers would kick us out and sit in the back seat with their girlfriend, and we got the front seat. So that was the amount of chaperoning we got. So, yes. Then I went through high school. He was a year older. I went to a different high school. And then I went off to University of Florida, and he came up a year later, and we did college together. And that's when he proposed to me in 1968, and we planned the next part of our life.
In 1968.
Yes.
So you were 2 years after high school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was 18 by then when he proposed. I was getting old.
Because I can remember your wedding.
Yes, you were the maid of honor. I'm
I
glad
was
you
the
remember.
maid of honor. Way back then.
Way back in 1969 again.
And I remember that we had the rehearsal dinner at the Sea Room restaurant.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. We did.
Yes, and that you were just Well, neither of us could drink back
Right.
then.
We were 20. We would be, that was in June, and we'd be 21 in August. So we couldn't have a cocktail that night.
That's right. Yes, yes, yes. So,
Yeah.
so now, what was it like? Because you and Dave were, okay.
Have we gotten off track from these
I'd
questions?
say yes. We
Yeah.
have. What were your chores and responsibilities? And
Yeah. Let's move the page.
what were your
Go
chores
with the
and
check mark.
responsibilities in fifth grade?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, was it important for your parents that you go to church?
Oh, yes, yes. We were in church every Sunday. Mom sang in the choir. My father was a deacon. And my brothers and I, yes, we went to Sunday school every Sunday. We sang in the choir Wednesday nights. So, yes, church was a big thing.
Now, how did that relate to you and your attitude about how you should behave in high school or junior high?
No correlation.
No correlation?
No. I was there on Sunday and I did what I did. After that, I didn't think about it. I didn't really weigh it against
You
any
didn't?
religious. No.
Okay.
No, I just really enjoyed the Bible and stories and singing in the choir. It wasn't much of a moral guide because my parents did a good job of instilling the morality and the right from wrong. So I didn't look to the church.
And how did they do that?
Conversation, expectation, expressed expectations. So just around the dinner table type, passing on the family milieu of what was acceptable, but yet not strict at the same time. We were encouraged to know right from wrong, be responsible, be upstanding citizens, but beyond that, find your own path as well.
Okay. So when you were finding yourself, how about romance and relationships and being intimate?
Never came up till after I was married. So we just had the romantic example of my parents meeting and marrying, and so that was the focus of what a perfect relationship was to be. Not that they said that, but that was my epitome, was how their romance developed, and subsequently they got married.
Okay, so that's how you learned
Was by their
about
example.
it,
Yes.
and that it would do. And of course, it helps that you were 19 when you got
Right.
married.
Right. Yes. Barely legal at that time for birth control pills to be provided by a physician. And my physician, who was also my mother's physician, wouldn't prescribe them for me without my mother's permission. That's how strict it was then, and it's about to get that way again. So, yeah, there was no real education about sex or anything like that before I got married. No, it was just assumed that everything would go well.
Okay. And so you had been with Dave for so long that everything did go well, I would think.
Absolutely.
Very comfortable.
Okay, it's time to wind it up. Okay, we're married now.
Okay, now, okay, so when did you get married?
1969. End of discussion. End of interview.
Okay.